Hey, what's going on, guys? So right now I'm going to introduce you to variables. Now, a variable in programming language is pretty much the backbone or the spine of all programming. It pretty much just makes a program come together and work beautifully. Now, what a variable is, well, if you've ever taken like Algebra 1, it is a piece of data that can be changed at any time. For example, x can be equal to 10, 24, 18, etc. So let's declare a variable. It's actually very simple, but you need to remember that there's many different kinds of variables. There's a variable where there's integers, there's strings, there's booleans, there's floats, there's doubles, there's plenty of variables. But I'm just going to be showing you one today to get you started. So after super view did load, type int my num equals 14. Now you'll notice a little bit of information about this. Try and guess why this is named int. Well, I hope that was enough seconds for you to guess. It pretty much means integer. And my num is what we've named our integer, and we've set it equal to 14. You could also do this, int my num. This would declare an integer named my num. You could also do my num equals 14 afterwards. However, to save a step, I'm just going to do my num equals 14. So basically what we've done is tell the computer, hey computer, I want to declare an integer. I want this integer to be named my num, and I want you to set its value to 14. And the computer says, okay, it's done. Great, so now you've got an integer as a variable. So what's so cool about that? Well, you can, for example, print this to the console. So right now we have hello world and this is my text. So let's delete both of these guys. Let's tab over and type something like nslog, and then let's type, of course, at quotation, my favorite number is, and then space. So here's where it's going to sound a little bit tricky, but I'll try and explain it to you. Put %d, and then put a semicolon. Now you'll notice that a little warning sign comes up here. It says more percent conversions than data arguments. So that's a little confusing, and I understand, but let me explain what we're doing here. When we put %d, we're pretty much telling nslog, hey, we are going to be using an integer, and I will tell you what that integer is very soon. So the way we tell it what integer it is you put comma, and then the name of the integer, which is my num. And ensure that you put that comma after that quotation. So what this will print out is my favorite number is my number, which is 14. So my favorite number is 14. What it's going to do is substitute %d for this variable, which is 14, and just insert it right there. So let's run this and check it out. Okay, so this is what happened. If we look at the console, you'll see my favorite number is 14, which is great. We have my favorite number is 14. So here's what went down. The computer saw nslog, said, oh, okay, we're going to be printing something to the console. I'll just go check over here to see what you want to print. It saw my favorite number is %d, and it said, oh, okay, so you're going to insert an integer within here. So what it did is it looked for that integer, which we displayed by putting a comment and then the name of the variable. And it said, oh, okay, so you want to insert my num here. So it found my num, and it saw that my num had a value of 14 and inserted it right here. So this is like literally the same thing as typing my favorite number is 14. So let's just put %d back there. Now you may be saying, okay, great, Walker, you've got some stupid variable printed to the console. Why couldn't you have just typed my favorite number is 14? Well, mister, you could, well, the best thing about this is that you can change variables. You can't always be sitting at your computer and going and typing, okay, so we have to do a calculation, 14 plus 3, 15, 16, 17, 17, I'm going to put 72 in there. So pretty much what this does is it allows you to use these variables, change them, and check them out at any time. So this is just an introduction to variables, and right now it may not seem very helpful, but eventually once you start doing, mathematics with them and adding them and subtracting them and all that junk, you'll be very, very happy that you know how to use variables. But that is all for this tutorial. Just remember that this is how you declare a variable, which is an integer, and this is how you print it to the console, and we'll be using it soon enough. But I would like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.